Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to the Smackdown review. And this is a review of this past Tuesday's edition of Smackdown, the 25th edition of the June 25th edition of Smackdown, which this Smackdown was from the Moda Center in Portland, Oregon. And this Smackdown, this show was fucking terrible. This week's Smackdown was fucking terrible. Just a god-awful show. So, let's get on with the SmackDown review. So, SmackDown opened up with none other than Shane McMahon. My God, are we tired of seeing Shane's face on TV every week, or what? So, the show opened up with him. He was talking to the camera, and he was telling us that Roman Reigns was scared, and his fate was sealed, which he was talking about the previous night on Raw, where Roman had to take on Shane and McIntyre in a 2-on-1 match. And Shane ends up saying that Roman was scared that he had to call upon The Undertaker, which, The Undertaker showed up on Raw this past Monday, which was a surprise, which we all didn't see coming. And so now it's going to be a match at Extreme Rules, where The Undertaker is going to be teaming up against Roman Reigns to take on Shane and McIntyre. And so Shane ends up saying, "I fear no man, dead or alive." And he sends a message to the SmackDown roster. And for any superstar on the SmackDown roster to not get in his face, not get on his bad side, because he is pissed. And that's how it ended. I mean, it was god-awful. So fucking awful. Moving on. I don't want to spend, too much time on this show because nothing really happened on this SmackDown show from this week. So, New Day end up coming out, both Kofi, Xavier, and Big E. Kofi says ever since he won the WWE Championship at WrestleMania, he has not only experienced some of the greatest moments of his career, but the greatest moments of his entire life. So the crowd starts cheering, the Portland crowd starts cheering for Kofi. And Kofi says on the flip side of that, he's also gone through some really rough times in that stretch. He says he went toe-to-toe with Dolph Ziggler, and it took an actual leap of fate over him to get out of the cage to win their match at Stomping Grounds. So Kofi ends up showing a recap of what happened on Raw with Samoa Joe coming out and attacking him. And Kofi ends up talking about how much of a shark Joe is, and how he grabs you and chokes you out with the coquina clutch. He says he thinks he's a shark that has found his prey, but he says, "I'll be damned if I let him eat me alive." So Dolph Ziggler's music ends up hidden. Dolph ends up coming out. He says he's not happy about recent developments. And he says, No, I refuse to let this happen again. Dolph says he's not allowing some other wrestler to stroll in and take his spot after he's done all this hard work. So Kofi ends up interrupting Dolph to ask how many times he has to beat him. And Dolph ends up shutting Kofi up to say, he says, "This is my everything." So Dolph says Xavier Woods saved the day at Super Showdown and at Stomping Grounds. They beat the hell out of each other. And that Kofi ended up taking the coward's way out to save the title. Dolph ends up saying, everyone knows that I should be WWE champion right now. And he says, speaking of people who believe in me a lot more than they believe in you. And which he was talking to Kofi, of course. So Dolph ends up saying that he was talking backstage with WWE management, and they let him know if, he wins the match against Kofi. Yes, we got another rematch tonight with Kofi and Dolph. We had another rematch. Yay! Which was the main event. Dolph ended up saying if he wins his match against Kofi, he will be added to him and Joe's WWE Championship match at Extreme Rules. He ends up saying, then and only then will I truly get what I deserve, the WWE Championship. Then Dolph ends up saying that their match tonight, which was the main event, is going to be a 2 out of 3 falls match. And so that was that. That's how the segment ended. But we're gonna keep on getting these 2 out of 3 falls matches because apparently WWE doesn't want any wrestling during the commercial break. I'm like, why, do that every single week when you could just make the commercials short? The commercial break short. I mean, do we really need a 2 out of 3 falls match every single week? Because WWE doesn't want the superstars wrestling during a fucking commercial break? Give me a break. Fucking ridiculous. So then we had The Miz backstage. He ran into Elias. Miz wanted to see Shane, and he ends up telling Elias that he still has unfinished business with Shane and that he wants to end it. So The Miz ends up threatening Elias by saying, strum that guitar one more time and I'll shove it the dark side of the moon. Then he ends up telling Elias to let Shane know that they have unfinished business. So The Miz leaves. Shane comes out of his office or dressing room, whatever, and he says and he ends up saying to Elias that who he was. Elias was doing some tunes. Elias ends up letting Shane know what Miz was saying, and Shane ends up booking a match between the two of them, The Miz and Elias. It's going to be a 2 out of 3 falls match. And he ends up saying if Miz wins, he'll get his shot at Shane once again. So then Shane ends up telling Elias to play him a song to get him in a good mood. So there you go. We had two 2 out of 3 falls matches on this show. Like I said, just for WWE to not have the superstars wrestle during a commercial break. Then we had the New Day versus Daniel Bryan and Rowan in a tag team match. This went maybe like 9-10 minutes at best. New Day ended up winning the match. They ended up hitting the midnight hour on Daniel Bryan. So you had your tag team champions lose. Why? I shit you not. Why would you make them lose? Why would you make Daniel Bryan and Rowan lose? Stomping Grounds. Ricochet wins the United States Championship. The next night on Raw, he ends up losing a match. What the fuck? Now you have Daniel Bryan and Rowan, your SmackDown Tag Team Champions, losing. I don't fucking get it. So there you go. New Day ends up winning the match. Then, after the match, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, they end up attacking the New Day. They end up attacking Xavier and Big E. Rowan then starts also attacking them. Out came Heavy Machinery, Owens, Tucker Knight. They came out. They ended up taking out Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Rowan ran through Otis. Tucker ended up hitting a kick to Rowan. Xavier then ended up laying a super kick to Rowan. And then Big E clotheslines Rowan out of the ring. And then when SmackDown came back from the commercial, we had an 8-man tag team match. Heavy Machinery and New Day versus Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Daniel Bryan, and Rowan. What more can I say about this match? Nothing great happened here. Yes, Heavy Machinery. I enjoy Owens, and Tucker Knight. Very entertaining tag team. I think they should get another shot at the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. But Heavy Machinery and New Day win the match. Heavy Machinery, they end up hitting the compactor on Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens end up walking out of the match. So there you go. Heavy Machinery and New Day win it. Nothing special, nothing great happened in this match. You had New Day, Daniel Bryan, and Rowan competing again. Then we had a WWE.com video, I guess it took place after Raw, where it was shown Nikki Cross was telling Alexa Bliss that all she has to do is beat Bayley. And that if she is able to do so, Alexa will earn another shot at the SmackDown Women's Championship at Extreme Rules. So there you go. What has Alexa done to get another shot at the SmackDown Women's Championship? Nothing. Isn't she a Raw superstar? All Alexa has ever done is do a moment of bliss, sipping coffee. That's all that Alexa has done. Yes, she has gotten back in the ring. But all that span that she was out, it was nothing but moment of bliss, moment of piss. That was it. So Alexa says she was upset at not being able to be there for it, but that Nikki was happy. She ends up telling her to enjoy Japan because they did a WWE live. They're doing shows in Japan, like house shows. And she ends up telling Alexa that she will get the job done and defeat Bayley. Then we had a 2 out of 3 falls match, Elias versus The Miz. You had Shane out there. Shane got involved in a part of the match. So Elias ended up getting the first fall because Shane ended up distracting The Miz. And it allowed Elias to hit the drift away on The Miz for the first fall. Then so the match ended up happening again because, of course, it went to commercial. And WWE doesn't want any of the superstars wrestling, like I said, during the commercial break. So when it came back from commercial, that's when the match happened again for the last fall to see who would get it, or if The Miz end up winning the match, he would get first fall. But The Miz ended up beating Elias by disqualification because Shane ended up coming in. The Miz ended up hitting the skull crushing finale to Elias. And that's when Shane came in, started pounding down at The Miz. And that's what caused the disqualification. Sorry about that, but I was saying The Miz ended up winning by disqualification because Shane ended up coming in. He started pounding away at Miz. Then we had the 2-on-1 beatdown on The Miz from Shane and Elias. Shane ended up sending The Miz over the announce table. He then sent Miz into the barricade. And we saw Elias ends up holding up Miz. The crowd starts chanting, "No more Shane, no more Shane." I fully agree with the crowd's chants because Shane has been on TV every single week. And fans are starting to get tired of it. I don't blame them. I'm getting tired of seeing Shane every week also. I mean, WWE has a great roster of superstars there. Some of them don't even get used. And yet, Shane is the one who gets most of the TV time. Are you kidding me? So, like I said, the crowd was chanting "No more Shane," and Elias ended up holding up Miz for Shane to hit Miz with that god-awful spear that he does. Send a message to Roman Reigns. Then the match ended up beginning again for Elias, and Elias ends up winning the match. He ended up hitting an elbow drop from the top to The Miz. So there you go. Elias ends up winning the 2 out of 3 falls match. After the match, Shane has Elias set, The Miz up in the corner. Shane ends up hitting the coast to coast on The Miz. And he ends up, we can actually hear him say to The Miz, "Don't you ever come at me again." Which he screamed at into Miz's face. And he's like, "You got me?" And that's basically what happened. Then we had Kayla Braxton. She was interviewing Finn Balor. She asks Balor about the Andrade match at Super Showdown. Andrade Cien Almas match that he had. That him and Andrade had Super Showdown. Balor ends up putting over Andrade as strong competition. And the better the competition, the better he has to be. So Braxton wonders what is next for Balor. And Balor, before Balor has the chance to answer, we have someone walk up to him. And it was revealed to be Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm like, holy shit. Shinsuke is back on TV after WWE hasn't even used him for months. I completely forgot that Nakamura was still employed by the company. That's how long that Nakamura has been off TV and has not been used. Just him sitting in catering. So there you go. Balor's next opponent is Nakamura. So that's going to be interesting to see. Then we had Nikki Cross versus Bayley. This was an okay match. Not perfect or great by any means. My two favorites, of course, me. You all know that I'm a huge Bayley fan. And I like Nikki Cross. I'm a fan of Nikki Cross. So, Nikki Cross ended up getting the win. She ended up rolling up Bayley. And so now, since Nikki won the match, now it's going to be a rematch at Extreme Rules. Alexa versus Bayley for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Yay! There we go. Another fucking rematch. Then we had Carmella. She runs into Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose backstage. And she was asking, "Oh, have you seen R-Truth?" So Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose tell Carmella to watch her back. So Sonya and Mandy walk off. She continues calling for Truth. Truth ends up hiding. Shown that he was hiding in his hiding spot. Drake Maverick comes up to Truth. Maverick ends up saying to Truth that he doesn't have a referee. However, and he's not here for a match to win the Jobber Ninja Turtle title, aka the 24/7 championship. And Maverick ends up telling Truth about everything he took away from him. And Maverick ends up saying to Truth that, "You've ruined my life." And so Truth ends up giving him a hug and apologizes. And Truth ends up going, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was Carmella's wedding." You gotta like R-Truth. You gotta love R-Truth. And then Truth ends up telling Maverick to go ahead and get a referee if it means that much to him. So Drake Maverick does so. Truth ends up yelling, "Ski, seek." And then he ends up running. Truth ends up running. And they clobber these guys, these jobbers, clobber Maverick. Gets run over. And these guys are still chasing Truth around. Cue the Benny Hill music. That was that. Stick to the Jobber Ninja Turtle 24/7 championship on social media, please. It's a mess when it comes out, when it's shown on TV, when it comes out on TV. Just keep it on social media. Keep it on YouTube, Facebook, those. So then we had Sonya Deville versus Ember Moon. This was a very short match. Sonya Deville ended up rolling up Ember Moon. That was that. And I heard that they're setting up a sort of Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose like pride, like gay storyline with them that WWE is trying to do. Who knows if that's going to be true or not? Sorry about that, but I was saying, who knows if that's true or not with the Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose storyline thing. But I read it in an article. But it was a short match with Sonya Deville and Ember Moon. Then we had another Aleister Black promo. Aleister Black, he was still in the dark room. He was yelling about wanting someone to come find him and to fight him. And he ends up saying, "I'm starting to think that there is not one person that is man enough to pick a fight with me." And we saw, the lights go out and we hear knocking. And, we see Aleister is surprised and then he smiles to the camera. I wonder who this person is. That was that. Then we had the main event, 2 out of 3 falls match. KOFI Kingston versus DOLPH ZIGGLER. Dolph wins. He gets inserted into the match along with Samoa Joe at Extreme Rules. Take on KOFI Kingston. And, we've seen this before. This is a rematch that we have seen before at Super Showdown and at Stomping Grounds. Between Kofi and Dolph. Kofi ended up win the first fall. He ended up getting a roll-up on DOLPH. Then the match ended up restarting. Kofi ended up getting the second fall, win the whole match. Kofi ended up hitting the Trouble in Paradise to DOLPH. So KOFI Kingston ends up winning the whole match, the 2 out of 3 falls match. That's how pretty much SmackDown ended. But like I said, we saw Kofi and DOLPH go at it before at Super Showdown and at Stomping Grounds. So there you go. That was SmackDown. Nothing special happened on this show. So, anyways, that's it for my review of this past Tuesday's edition of SmackDown. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this review. And definitely give the video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. And until next video, I'll see you all later.